Leaders in logistics is looking more and more like out-of-home logistics. So I'm really pleased to be here with Tim from my old company. Well, DPD UK isn't, but DPD. Or I should say JetPost now, I think.
JetPost now, Marek, yes, that's right, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you something, Tim, because, DPD UK, and I say UK intentionally because I think it's very specific what you've got in terms of home delivery. Wrote the book on home delivery. You must have a pretty difficult job trying to develop out of home.
Yeah, it's a good question. It is a good question because we have created a fantastic to-home delivery experience over the years in the way you've described. But out of home can't be ignored. It's clearly accelerating in other parts of Europe and around the world in terms of take-up and share. So we're working really hard in the UK to make sure that those choices that customers want when they choose to either to-home delivery or out-of-home delivery, they get that DPD experience.
So what sort of things are you doing today to be able? I remember we talked a little bit earlier, and you said that you've got quite a strong Hudo presence. What things are you developing to offer that?
Well, we've got some great partnerships with the likes of Sainsbury's and Argos and the cooperative shop network. I work really closely with them to ensure that their staff are well trained, that they understand the importance of scan compliance. Scan compliance gives us data, gives us the DPD experience effectively, because scan compliance gives you certainty, gives you knowledge, gives you understanding, gives you comfort, because you know where your parcel is. Because it's every step of the way, we're ensuring we get that data back. So we work really hard with our shop partners, and then the locker partners that we're working with. We've tested and broken and tested it again and launched now what we believe to be the most reliable, robust software solution and in those lockers that will create that certainty of data. Parcels in the locker, parcels have been collected by a driver, parcels have been dropped off with a label, etc., etc. And it's creating those data flows that become very, very useful to shippers, shoppers, and everybody else, so they understand where they need to improve and what they need to do and what products are being dropped off as returns, etc. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
It's not just about, we'll put it in the shop and we'll collect it a few days later, etc. We need to be there collecting every day at a given time, scanning every parcel, scanning into the hub, scanning through to a return delivery option or to home or to another shop.
So, by the way, of course I buy that, because when we ever have assignments looking at out-of-home networks, one of the biggest challenges is scan events, because if it's not scanned, you don't see it.
Exactly.
But I'll ask you something completely different. If you had to sort of take a view, in 10 years' time, the UK market is going to be X% out of home, what would your guess be?
Well, I think the interesting stat that I can play back to you on that, again within our group, is DPD France. We know that DPD France over the last 4 years have gone from around 5-6%, similar levels that we're at, now to plus 30% of their B2C volume is now out of home, start or finish in a shop. So I would like to think, optimistically speaking, we're on a similar trajectory with similar geographic. There's differences between, just walking out of here and seeing what the landscape looks like, block after block of flats. It's just not like that in the UK. So there'll always be challenges, I think, around what percentage we will eventually get to in the UK. But 30%, I think, is a game-changing number. So that's what we want to try and get to.
So we've got it, 30% game-changing number. I'm prepared to bet a bottle of good whiskey that it's going to be more than that.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I'd like to hug you, but I don't think that's a good thing to do on camera. So,
Tim, really appreciate your time. Looking forward to good things from DPD UK's out-of-home division, and really great talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time, guys. Oh, is that it?